I'm so excited to show you because lots of great things have been happening in the studio. I'm hot on the heels of my goal to have an exhibition of 18 paper sculptures by November 2025. And the shorter term triumph will be to finish these two sculptures by Christmas. I got the studio painted in my mid-century modern colors. We made new arms and the branches for the My Guardian sculpture, and the legs also fit the My Anchor sculpture. This week, we're working on the anchor. We'll make the mold and the paper parts, and we'll start to build it using the armature. Hopefully the surface won't get pulled apart. The plasticine anchor got bigger and bigger and fell over, and then Rogelio had the great idea of building half of it on a board. We quickly made the mold of the half. I have a lot of very detailed mold making videos that you can check out on my channel. And cleaned up. Did I tell you how excited I am about my new colors? Muy bien, muy bonito. Gracias, Ana. And the other half of the anchor is here. I need to get it out. It's probably dry enough. I was here a little bit in the sun today. Legs for the Guardian, the branches for the Guardian. Now I was drawing my terrible drawings just to figure out heights, how long the branches should be, how to do that. And I made a base. I just started it to put the branches on. The threaded rod goes down 30 centimeters because there's going to be a base underneath the branches, and the branches are going to come up here 1 meter. Then the figure is going to be up there, and I'm sure you can't tell what that's going to be like either, but I started it and it's ready to go. I tried to take it out, but I wasn't successful. Still a little damp, which is not ideal. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna leave it in here for another day. It's like 15 coats of paper. It's a lot of paper, and it takes a long. This day I was more determined, and the anchor was drier. Still a little damp. It feels like leather, actually. The way it feels is really nice, but it's not the greatest thing for taking it out of the mold. But I want to get it out of the mold, even though I might hurt the surface a little bit. I'll have to fix the surface. Hopefully the surface won't get pulled apart. That's such a satisfying sound. Oh, that's great. It's perfectly fine. Yay! Perfectly fine! Yay, yay, yay! Success! At the same time, I was working on the new arms, the new legs, making molds of them, and putting paper into those molds. Okay, that's better.
Alrighty.
Some of the paper pieces got damaged in the removal from the mold. I'm still learning how long they have to sit before removal. So I've bent the threaded rod and it's inside, and I've bent another piece of threaded rod that's going to go through the base, through the leg, into the body. Yeah, and it needs to be bent. The one that's going to go through the body needs to be bent some more so that it's accurate. This is going to be going in more in this direction. Let me see if I can. This is the fun part. I'm sure you can't tell at all what the heck is going on, but for me, this is the fun part. Here we go. God, it's amazing. It fits really well. I made half of the anchor in plasticine, and then I made each piece from exactly the same half of the anchor in the mold. It was one mold, one piece of the anchor, and it's the same mold and the same on each side. And I'm not very good at doing this kind of stuff where I have to match one thing up to another, but this is great. It's almost perfect. I can't imagine it being better. I thought, you know, if it didn't quite fit, if this part of the anchor was out this way a little bit more, then I just cut it off and fit it back in, and then the same thing would have happened. This part would have been in this way a little more. But no, it's very good. Maybe right here it doesn't fit exactly right, but this I'm gonna fill with paper paste anyway. And these feel like when I feel how they go together, and when I look at the tip right here, they are working really well. I'm gonna have very, very little repair work to do on this, which is so good. So I have 5 of these torsos, and I've written on the inside which torso goes to which sculpture, because otherwise I would get them confused. But this goes here. think I might tape this all together just to see how it looks before I actually glue it all together. But yeah, I'm also really, really pleased with the whole thing coming together so incredibly well. And I think I might like have her be just a little bit turned in one direction. Yeah. And then the next thing is to put this piece in. I know this is super overkill. When I screw something down to a base, I want it to have 3 points of entry so that it's not going to be wobbling. And this is going to be a big, like, I mean, it's not heavy. The paper is not heavy at all, you can see. But for a piece like this, it's heavy on the top. And you can see the wobble in it just right now with the one piece of rebar. So I'm going to put one piece of rebar through each foot and then bend it right about here so that it goes up through the legs, and then bend it again and it'll go up through the torso. And I'm going to do one of these for each foot. And this is the first time that I've kind of done this engineering that's quite tricky. So I don't know, I might tape the whole thing together first and then bend the rod and see how that works. I made the mold with these going in this direction, like this, because it's so much easier to just make the whole thing in one mold than to actually have to make another mold of this. But what I'm going to do is cut this other one off, and I'm going to rotate them this way so that they're in front, somewhere in front here of the body, rather than being stuck like this in the body. So right now I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to use a little bolted thing to attach this to the anchor, this foot to the anchor in 2 places. What I found is I'm having trouble getting the foot to be flat against the base, and I really hate that when a foot of a sculpture is supposed to be standing and there's air somewhere in there, like below the toes or somewhere where there wouldn't be air in a real person. So I'm going to attach it down with the threaded rod here, and I'm going to attach it down with maybe a piece of threaded rod here. Right here. Oops. So I'm getting a hole all the way through. Going to do this on both feet. That hole is a little bit towards the back, a little bit in the wrong spot. I'm not sure if this washer will fit in. I can also cut it with my scalpel, which I do a lot. I'm gonna just make another cut here. We've got thunder in the distance. Hopefully it will rain. It hasn't been raining as much as I'd like. So on the inside of this foot is going to go this little washer, and on the inside of the anchor there'll be another little washer, and it'll be pushed together with nuts on probably a piece of threaded rod. Who taught this woman where to set the camera? So I had to take the base off of here in order to get this to fit through here. It's quite a little feat of engineering doing this. And let's see if the foot is that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm just kind of screwing it in from down here. This hole could have been a little bit bigger and it would have made that, definitely would have made that easier. This nut, I need to get all the way down to here. So I'm gonna go off camera for a minute. Or rather, I should say, I need to get all this strip of threaded rod all the way up to here. Instead of saying that nut down there, which is true, but I need to get the threaded rod up. My anchor structure and the structure for my Guardian have turned out to be the most challenging armatures that I've ever made. Well, I'd say that that was pretty successful. I'm happy with it, and I'm glad that you could join me, and I hope you'll continue to join me to see what happens with my anchor and my guardian. And here at the rancho, it's so beautiful. The things that you can do to help me continue making these videos are subscribe and like, and especially comment. Commenting on videos really helps the algorithm, as much as I hate to say that. But do that for me and for us as a community so that we can keep on learning from each other. Thank you.